I heard my dad tell my brother, "Don't worry, we'll make your sister pay." I walked away and moved every cent I had that night. What they didn't know was, there are some wounds that never truly heal, wounds inflicted not by strangers, but by the very people sworn to protect you. I thought I knew what betrayal felt like at 28, but nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for the chilling night I overheard my own father conspire to ruin my life. Their plan shattered everything I thought I knew about family, but what they didn't realize was that I wouldn't let them take a single penny from me. Growing up in a middle-class suburban neighborhood in Pennsylvania, our family looked picture-perfect from the outside. My dad was an accountant, my mom a sales associate. We had the modest two-story home, the well-maintained lawn, the annual beach vacations. But behind those tidy curtains, a different, far harsher reality played out. One where I, Samantha, the firstborn, was always held to impossibly high standards. My parents expected straight A's, perfect behavior, mature responsibility. From the moment I could understand instructions. An A- wasn't good enough. My father would ask why it wasn't an A+. Second place at the science fair in 4th grade? My mother wondered aloud why I hadn't worked harder for first. Every achievement felt less like a triumph and more like a hurdle barely cleared, constantly measured against an invisible, unattainable perfection. Then came James, my brother, 5 years my junior. And from the day they brought him home from the hospital, it was glaringly obvious he'd be treated differently. My room had plain white furniture. James got a custom-painted race car bed and walls plastered with expensive decals. My gifts were practical, clothes and books. James unwrapped the latest video games, toys, and gadgets. "Your brother is still little," my mother would coo. "Boys need more encouragement," my father would add, as if being a girl somehow granted me a natural immunity to disappointment and neglect. By age 10, my responsibilities included washing dishes, helping with laundry, and keeping my room spotless. James, meanwhile, left a trail of toys and snack wrappers throughout the house without consequence. "Just pick up after him," my mother would sigh when I complained. "He's just being a boy." When I turned 12, babysitting duties were added to my list, making me the unpaid caretaker whenever my parents went out. "You're so mature for your age," they'd say, as if it were a compliment rather than an expectation they'd forced upon me. Christmas when I was 14 still stings. I'd been asking for a laptop for school for months, researching affordable options, explaining how vital it was for my assignments. On Christmas morning, I unwrapped a second-hand laptop that barely functioned. 2 hours later, James tore open the packaging of a brand new gaming computer that cost 3 times what I'd asked for. "Your brother needs it for his games," my father explained, seeing my crestfallen face. "And you know those games help with hand-eye coordination and problem-solving. What about my education? What about my needs?" These questions screamed in my head, but I knew better than to ask. I already knew the answers. At 16, I got my first job at a local grocery store, working weekends and summer breaks. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to. I watched James receive generous allowances for simply existing, while I worked 20 hours a week just to afford the basics my parents provided freely to him. "It builds character," my father would say, patting my shoulder, as if forcing me into early adulthood was a favor. High school only amplified the disparities. When I needed money for a school trip to Washington, D.C., my parents told me to use my savings. Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.